Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. I know I'm late today. I apologize. There was just a lot going on that I wanted to kind of sift through all the news and kind of bring you, what I thought would be good. So we got jobs numbers this week, right? Claims have dropped. The number of jobs out there has dropped. That kind of paints the story that, well, the inflation's a little hotter. The economy is a little hotter than what's expected, and that sent the stock market reeling, right? Because that basically means that Chairman Powell is going to stay the course, and the market's kind of admitting that, yeah, he was right. He was right. Everybody, all this talk about him overshooting and everything else, I think that's kind of going to go away. There are macro events and things going on around the world that can definitely hamper things. But as far as the United States economy goes, he's doing the best that he can. And I have to say he's doing a good job. So expect lateral movement for a while. That's what I'm expecting. Now, Binance had a hack. The hack was what led to about $600 million, $500 to $600 million of additional BNB chain coin being created. They were able to request from the validators to halt the network, halt the chain, so that they could isolate the issue, isolate the hackers' addresses, and keep those there. Since obviously they have restarted the chain. With that in place, so everything's good now. They still need to, I guess, dig into how it happened and go through that whole process, but they were able to act pretty swiftly. Some people are questioning the idea of, are they actually, is BNB Chain actually, decentralized? Of course it is. They had to ask all the validators to actually halt the chain. So now that we put that to the side, we have to remember that this is a bridge. The attack was on the bridge. Blockchains are pretty secure. Bridges are not all that secure, only because there aren't a ton of validators out there in most cases to handle that. If you go back to my previous videos, you'll see that we were talking about other bridges that also got hacked. This one was very interesting in that Lorem, this person Lorem, I don't know if they're male or female. Good work here though. Lorem was able to identify a common address within the hack attack that happened on Ethereum. And it wasn't really on Ethereum. What they did was they created a couple of spoof coins, spoofing in name, right? And they were able to do a couple of things, create a couple of things. So while they were doing that over there on Binance BNB Chain, they were over here getting actual money. So using Ethereum and this other one called, I think, Hackers SHIB. Wow, original name. They were able to get about $100,000, give or take. About 100% sure on that number. But that's actually a very big deal. And obviously everything's being investigated, but Lorem was able to actually see the addresses that did benefit over here. On this smaller attack, one address was associated with the bigger attack. So there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of research that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure we'll hear about it as time goes on, as they, find out, get deeper into it and find out more information. Now, Swift has partnered with, who is this? Symbiont. And what they're doing is they're going to test use cases for CBDCs. Remember what Swift is for a living? Swift is based, but Swift takes and has this huge network of about 11,000 banks, right? And they handle the, money transfers between all of them, the communications between all of them, which is why when sanctions happen, you contact Swift network and boom, 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 sanctions. Well, now they're trying to do the same thing for CBDCs. Now, my thought process is that there could be a place for CBDCs, There could be. And there's also a place for crypto. I also recognize that there is crypto out there that can already do what this does, or what they're hoping to do. So I think we just have to kind of see it play out. That's what I find to be, interesting to me. When I look at it all, and I look at, what's prevailing technology, I don't know that there's going to be prevailing technologies out there. I think that there are going to be many. So we'll just have to see how that goes on. In really big news, early August, I told you how Visa was involved or couldn't get their name dropped from a pornography lawsuit. That was kind of bad news. You want to know what's good news for them? They've partnered with FTX to offer debit cards in 40 different countries around the world. They did it here in the United States. Now they're going to take it to Europe, Asia, and Latin America. So everybody who signed up, is on the waiting list for each respective region. They will be contacted and they'll be able to get these cards. That's big. Because again, it's leveraging your crypto assets to be used. But there's that whole leveraging your assets but not actually using them. I mean, you're using them because you're giving up the cash equivalent. So you're saying, well, this translates into this and blah, 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 blah. And so you're depleting. So you are using them, but you're not using them directly. And that's what I find to be very interesting. So I think it'll open everything up. I don't know how much that's going to add to crypto adoption, though, since it's so indirect. It makes it easier for people to leverage what they have or to use what they have, but in a very roundabout way. It also does not help the actual vendors or stores that they're doing business with because there's a third party that's involved, right? And that means that somebody else is getting paid and the vendor is going to take the hit most likely. So there's a lot that goes on there. So we'll see how that plays out. Citi is dipping into the Cryptoverse. They've taken part in a seed funding round along with Sandeep Nailwal. If you don't know that name, know it. He is one of the co-founders of Polygon. And with that, they've created this $6 million seeding round for Xalts, which is a digital asset management firm. So that's Citi starting to shake off the cobwebs and get involved, start making moves. Duly noted that Xalts, I think that's the way you pronounce the name, is based in Hong Kong. So it's going to be interesting to really see how that plays out with that toe in the water kind of thing. So I'm interested to see. Brazilian police, there was a coin called, I believe it's Mindexcoin, right? Not on any exchanges. Very, under the radar kind of deal in Brazil. And they caught a lot of, it wound up being arrested, or a lot of people being arrested, as well as warrants being issued for the people that were involved. This one guy was called the Bitcoin Sheik. Bitcoin Sheik. I always forget I always, fumble on how to pronounce that. But this Bitcoin Sheik, what's his real name? Franciscalian or something like that. Give me a moment and I'll look it up. Francisli Valdivino da Silva. I think that's how you pronounce it. He was the guy that was known as the Bitcoin Sheik. Or Sheik. And he was catching people, sports stars, TV personalities, models like Sasha Meneghel. I'm probably butchering her name too. I'm sorry. But that Ponzi scheme, and the number is huge. 760 million Ponzi scheme. Wow. Think about how that worked. You create this coin, there's zero value in the coin, and then you start creating groundswell, creating, murmurs about this exclusive, ground floor kind of thing, right? And that's what makes everybody wants it. Everybody wants in on something that's exclusive. Hate to remind you, remember how Facebook started? You had to know somebody to get in, and then that somebody had to be in college, and it was a whole big deal. Well, I'm presuming that that's pretty much how this happened, because to get that big without any exchanges, that's interesting. But they were able to get in there, arrest a few people, warrants out for other people. This was a huge operation. And run pretty slick, because this woman, Sasha, I don't know if it's a guy either. So the person, Sasha, met the Bitcoin Sheikh at some kind of, church event. So imagine earlier, I think in July, I told you about how this guy, Eddie, not me, this other guy, Eddie, out in Queens, did the same thing. And he was arrested and the whole nine. Same kind of thing. You get involved with a community and you act like you're, really helping the community, tap into something, blah, blah, blah. The next thing you know, a whole bunch of people get taken for a Ponzi scheme. Just saying. India's Law Enforcement Directorate has frozen $1.2 million across several different banks belonging to Chinese entities. Why? They're suspecting them of fraud in digital asset space. And I sit there and it's a continuation of what happened back in September, where they were able to seize or confiscate $5.9 million. That's $5.7 million, making it $6.9 million all told. As the illegals or illicit or nefarious people become more sophisticated, law enforcement is also becoming more sophisticated. There are always checks and balances. Somebody takes the lead, and then the other catches up and surpasses. And it's a constant game. And I look at all of these things to say, be mindful of what you're investing in. Be mindful of who you're involved. Be mindful of what they're doing. Be mindful of the community that surrounds it. Be mindful of all of those things. Don't just make an investment based on, if they invested in it, must be good. No, don't rely on somebody else's research, because they might not have researched it. It's similar to something else. I wrote an article a while back about LinkedIn, and how when somebody requests to connect with you, to network with you, do your research on that person. Who are they connected to? Do they actually know them? How well so if you know somebody that knows that person, how well do they know that person? Right? Because there are a lot of fake profiles. Yeah, we won't get into the whole Twitter Elon Musk thing. There are a lot of fake profiles everywhere. I used to tell my friends that were caught up with a fake profile, hey, you're connected to this fake profile, and I know it's fake because the real person's this. It's their whole story. So it's the same thing. Same thing in the crypto space. When you're doing your investments, do your own research. You can listen to a lot of people, and it's good to take in information, but pay attention to the kind of information that they're giving you. Like when I do research on different coins and different projects that I'm really interested in, I start to take notice of, so-called news outlets that are always shilling some coin. This month it's this coin, this week it's that coin, next month it's this coin. Now, I don't pay attention to those so-called media outlets, because you're always shilling some kind of coin. I listen to different kinds of technical analysts, or people that are more technical than I am. I have a few friends of mine that are more technical than I am, and looking at numbers and how they're playing out. And we don't always take numbers and apply them to everything in the crypto space, but we do take some stock market tips and tricks and apply them over here to see how things fall out from a numeric perspective. Excuse me. So again, I tell you to do your own research. Don't just take in data and information from people like me that are just sharing what they're doing. Take it, make note, do your own research, and then start to compare and see how you feel about it. Dead serious. And unless somebody is licensed, holy moly. I am not licensed, I do not give financial advice except to my kids. Do not, I stress, I do not give money to anybody that says, I can help you make more money, and they're not licensed. I mean, stupid thing. You don't have to be licensed. No. Nah. You're supposed to be. Or you're supposed to report, like Kim Kardashian just found out, that you're shilling some project, some security, and you have to tell me that you're being paid for it, how much you're being paid for it, right? Everything's supposed to be upfront and above board. Do your own research. It's highly important. All these people that got caught out there with this whole Brazilian thing, they were able to get one or two name brand people involved and parlay them into a broader audience. That's what happened. That's how they got to that 790 mil. Pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to where you're doing it, who's involved, all those things. Create your checklist and always go through that checklist no matter what. No matter what. If my mom is involved with something, I love my mom to death, trust my mom with my life. If my mom is involved with something, I'm still going to do my own research because I might see something that she doesn't see. My oldest son sees sometimes things that I don't see. Sometimes I see things that he doesn't see. But we research things to the hilt and then we compare. So I tell you this because it's a very big deal. Do your own research. But you know what? We should get to the numbers real quick. So let me refresh this so we have the latest and greatest numbers. Dude. And expand that. Who's on the bad side? There's actually not a lot going on. Those are your three big losers. Remember what I said about the 5% rule. If you're only moving 5%, I'm not really paying attention. I'll take a look, but I'm not really paying that much attention. Above 5%, I'm paying very much attention to you now. So when it hits that 5.1, I'm looking. Right here, this is 5%, don't care. Everything that's in that's losing, that's above 5%, I don't even care about. And these are the top 25 winners and losers, right? This is how we do it, how I do it. There also, on the other side, are not that many winners. Okay, so people are wondering why 1inch popped up 6%. I reported this yesterday. 1inch has signed a partnership with Unstoppable Domains to create a competitive product to Ethereum name service. That's the big deal. That's why 1inch is popping a little bit. 1inch has got things going on, and clearly so does Unstoppable Domains. I think the usefulness of Unstoppable Domains and Ethereum name service are different. Similar, but different. As far as authentication type things, Unstoppable Domains definitely has a use case, at least one, and it's a big one. In terms of Web3 projects, sure, yeah, you go use Ethereum name service. When I tackle a brand, when I'm doing more new marketing, I go get everything. Regular Web 2.0 type domains. I get Ethereum name service domains. I also get the Unstoppable Domains names because I don't know how I'm going to use those. Right? I can use them to collect money, make it easier for you to pay me. I can do things for authentication, right? Membership, that kind of stuff. Easy to work with. Domains. They have a built-in service. Whereas with Ethereum name service, it's going to be a little while before I can actually leverage this to my advantage. This is Web3 stuff that's coming. That world hasn't been defined. On the Unstoppable Domain side, this is stuff that I can use right now. Common person right now. Can't say that on the other side. Just saying. So, like I said, we got the jobs numbers in. Let's take a look. So right here on Tuesday, we got the job openings dropped by 1.1 mil. On today, we got the unemployment rate, which dropped by 0.2%. It's a big deal because that says that there are a lot of people that are not out there for unemployment. And here's a scenario for you. I've heard a few scenarios. Here's one that I have not heard. The double dip. Working remotely, some people are able to double dip. So when they lose a job, yes, it counts as a job loss, but they're not collecting any money because they already have a second job. They were double dipping, 9 to 5, double dipping. That's working 2 jobs simultaneously, for those that don't know. So there's that. There are also those people that have 2 jobs out of necessity. Inflation is so high that they needed to go get 2 jobs to make ends meet. But those people that are double dipping are the same people that are still spending, right? Because they're not broke. They're getting that extra money. So everything that they couldn't afford to do before, they're able to afford to do now. Boom, they're spending it. And that's creating demand. That's creating inflation. So yeah, Jay Powell's gonna keep his foot on the gas for a little bit. It really is gonna happen like that. All right. Fear and greed index. Yeah, 23. So it was 26 yesterday. Same space. You move 3 points, same space. There's still fear, period. A lot of it. Looking at Bitcoin, look at these numbers. Still trading just a hair above into my middle band. Again, my middle band is green lines, and then my outer band are the blue lines. So it's just right there, but it's only at 19,453. I want you to pay attention to this. Look at the stock market and see how much it dropped. Look at Bitcoin and see how much it dropped. Bitcoin is maintaining. Bitcoin is doing a very good job at maintaining. A very good job at maintaining. So that's something that I'm actually paying attention to in a major fashion. Let's refresh this page so we can get to the picture view of everything that we're looking at. If you notice, I did get into Gala. I want to do some more research on Gala. But you can see everybody's in the red. Ethereum, again, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, everybody. Who else? There was one more. I missed one. XRP is at 51 cents. It's up. It's up. What? 51 cents? To my boy, Nicholas Ducran. I know you're happy about that. Anyway, you have movement, but those coins that took a hit today, not that much of a hit. Not that much of a hit. Pay attention. Pay attention. Peeping Chili's. Yeah, buddy. I got into Chili's, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sitting here and I'm going, okay, got a nice little movement. Not a lot, just a little bit. I'm happy with that. I'm absolutely happy with that. Let's look across the board, though. Let's get back over here. There you go. So we have Bitcoin 19,439, Ethereum at 1324, holding its own. Everybody's holding its own. No, don't ask me why, XRP is, up, what, almost 5%, 4.5% in 24 hours. I don't know the answer, but that's good. That's actually good. Doge still fighting to stay above 6 cents. Polygon maintaining a new low that it achieved. So it kept, remember I told you it kept moving up, just like XRP, just kept incrementally moving up, and then kind of just sits there, kind of just bounces around this little range. That's what Polygon seems to be doing. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I hold a Polygon bag, I hold a Doge bag, I hold a Shiba Inu bag, I hold a lot of bags right now. Shiba Inu at 1101, I'm kind of like, maybe I should get a little bit more of that. Again, I'm thinking that within another 365 days, things are going to be very much better. We could still be within a recession, because I think that we are in a recession. We could be in a real recession as everybody else looks at it come next year, but I think we're already in one. But I think in 365 days, we might still be in a recession, but we're going to be able to see past it. And that's what I'm looking for, is being able to see past it. So for now forward, I'm just going to use dollar cost averaging and I have myself on a schedule. I'm just buying in over time. When I was young, I'm an old man now, you can see. But when I was young, I had a financial planner. I know today is a long video, but I need to get this out. I had a financial planner, Bob Zawisha, and he taught me that you should really buy into your mutual funds every paycheck, and do it every paycheck so you don't miss the money. It just automatically happens. Boom, 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 boom. And it was great. It was great. So I've carried that forward into dollar cost averaging and keeping that momentum going. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Hope you have a great day. Have a great weekend. I'm probably not going to do anything today or tomorrow or Monday. It's a long holiday over here in the United States. I might, because, news happens. And I always research. I might not shoot a video, but I'm always researching. So if you like what I'm doing, the journey that me and my kids are on, do me a favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and absolutely hit the notification bell so you know every time I drop a new video. And don't forget to tell your friends. Have a good one. Bye-bye.